I believe it's the one that hidden in the darkness. That's the path I'm on from the childhood.
Leave me alone.
You're wrong if you think you can do it. This is your life-changing moment, son. What else?
In the endless galaxy of superhero cinema, the name Marvel instantly ignites imagination and wonder. But among the pantheon of characters that have never truly been given their due on the big screen, Cyclops stands as a figure both iconic and underappreciated. This concept reimagines Scott Summers in a grand, cinematic vision unlike any before. The heart of the parody lies in the fact that Henry Cavill, long celebrated for his role as another famous superhero, steps into the visor of Cyclops, combining gravitas, action, and tongue-in-cheek humor to create a parody film that pokes fun at tropes while also celebrating the legendary mutant leader. The idea is not only to envision him in the role, but also to build an entire feature film that blends epic storytelling with playful satire, drawing audiences into a journey that is equally thrilling and hilarious. The story begins with Scott Summers as a child, his world torn apart by tragedy and his unique gift of uncontrollable optic blasts shaping his destiny. Unlike the grim depictions of his past seen elsewhere, this parody paints his younger days with exaggeration, slapstick elements, and comedic exaggerations of trauma that almost feel cartoonish. The film refuses to dwell on misery, but instead transforms those painful beginnings into moments of absurd comedy, such as young Scott accidentally blowing up a lemonade stand, torching his neighbor's barbecue, or inadvertently lighting up the school gymnasium during a spelling bee. These sequences establish his powers as both a blessing and a curse, while showing the chaos of trying to live a normal childhood when every sneeze has the power to destroy a car. From this comedic foundation, the narrative shifts to his young adulthood, where Scott discovers the Xavier Institute. Here, the parody angle takes full shape, with Professor Xavier portrayed in an almost satirical light, overly dramatic in his speeches and wildly indulgent in his obsession with giving students unnecessarily elaborate code names. Cyclops, played by Henry Cavill, becomes the straight man figure in this bizarre environment, reacting with stoic frustration to the eccentricities of his fellow mutants. The humor arises from the contrast between Cavill's commanding presence and the sheer ridiculousness of the world around him, particularly when he tries to maintain his dignity while wearing the oversized visor that fogs up at the most inconvenient moments. The supporting cast is equally crucial to the parody. Jean Grey, written as a mix of romantic partner and constant source of psychic interruptions, adds both heartfelt chemistry and comedic timing. Wolverine is portrayed as an exaggerated parody of his gruff self, endlessly mocking Cyclops in ways that border on slapstick yet still highlight the love-hate rivalry that defines their bond. Magneto, the central antagonist, is transformed into a character who believes he is in a completely different, overly serious movie, leading to hilarious tonal clashes whenever he delivers a dramatic monologue about mutant supremacy while everyone else is busy making sarcastic asides. The villainy is grandiose, but deliberately overplayed, so that Cavill's Cyclops has to fight not just with optic blasts, but also with the absurdity of the film itself. As the film unfolds, the plot mixes elements of superhero action with deliberate parody of blockbuster cliches. The central conflict revolves around Magneto's plan to harness the power of an enormous satellite that amplifies mutant abilities, a plan so over the top that it borders on cartoon villainy. Cyclops must rally the X-Men, but the parody twist is that every single mission goes spectacularly wrong in the funniest possible ways. Storm accidentally floods their own jet. Beast gets stuck in a revolving door during a citywide evacuation. Nightcrawler miscalculates his teleportation and ends up inside a giant pretzel display. Each mishap makes Cyclops the reluctant straight man leader, forced to save the day despite his team's comical incompetence. Henry Cavill's performance elevates the parody to greatness. His natural charisma and serious demeanor become comedic weapons, as he delivers lines about mutant destiny with Shakespearean intensity only for them to be undercut by ridiculous slapstick or interruptions. One standout sequence has him giving a motivational speech to the team, only for Wolverine to slowly slide a pair of Groucho Marx glasses onto his visor mid-speech. The juxtaposition of Cavill's stoic delivery with such absurd gags makes for comedy that feels fresh yet respectful of the source material. His action sequences, however, are still played straight, with high-budget visual effects showcasing the devastating beauty of his optic blasts, turning skyscrapers, vehicles, and entire landscapes into glowing spectacles of red energy. The parody extends into romance as well. Cyclops and Jean's love story is played with exaggerated melodrama, with telepathic interruptions that become increasingly absurd. In one moment, Jean tries to share a romantic picnic, only for Scott to vaporize the wine bottle by accident. In another, she reads his mind mid-kiss and complains about his mental grocery list. Their relationship provides both comedic material and emotional grounding, demonstrating that even in parody, Cyclops' heart remains genuine. The parody thrives because it balances humor with sincerity, never mocking the essence of the character, but rather the tropes surrounding him. Visually, the film takes inspiration from both modern superhero epics and exaggerated comic book stylings. The costumes are deliberately flashy and impractical, poking fun at Hollywood's obsession with redesigning suits in every film. Cyclops' visor is treated as a running gag, constantly malfunctioning, fogging up, or falling off at the worst possible times. Yet despite the comedic tone, the action sequences remain stunning, with epic set pieces in cityscapes, snowy mountains, and outer space. The climactic battle aboard Magneto's satellite is staged as a parody of every over-the-top final act in superhero cinema, complete with excessive slow motion, impossible explosions, and characters making quips in the middle of deadly combat. The supporting cast plays a major role in ensuring the parody works. A younger version of Professor Xavier, exaggerated to comedic extremes, delivers rousing speeches filled with clichés so overwrought that even the characters roll their eyes. Magneto, as played in this parody, insists on dramatically removing and reattaching his helmet in every scene, regardless of necessity. Wolverine's constant rivalry with Cyclops is exaggerated to absurd proportions, with the two of them engaging in petty competitions ranging from who can order the spiciest wings to who looks better in leather. The parody thrives in these interactions, transforming familiar dynamics into comedic gold. Despite the humor, the film still respects Cyclops as a leader. The parody cleverly emphasizes how difficult his role really is, as he must wrangle a team of egotistical, chaotic personalities while also facing world-ending threats. The comedy arises from the struggle, but the resolution highlights his resilience. By the end, he proves himself as a leader not by being the funniest, strongest, or flashiest, but by persevering through the madness. This allows the parody to retain heart, ensuring audiences laugh, but also connect with the character. The release of such a parody film would generate massive buzz, both because of Henry Cavill's casting and because Cyclops has long been seen as a character overshadowed in superhero cinema. Marketing would highlight the absurd humor, epic visuals, and Cavill's deadpan brilliance, positioning the film as both a celebration and satire of the superhero genre. Its release date, in this conceptual vision, would align with summer blockbuster season, ensuring maximum attention and excitement. The trailers would deliberately play up the seriousness of the story, only to subvert expectations with comedic gags, creating viral appeal. The trailer itself would begin with dramatic narration, Cavill's Cyclops delivering a stoic line about destiny, while flashes of epic battles fill the screen. Just as the tone grows serious, the visor fogs up and he bumps into a wall, cutting the tension with humor. Shots of Magneto delivering grandiose speeches would be intercut with Wolverine rolling his eyes. Quick cuts would show Storm creating a thunderstorm indoors, Beast struggling with technology, and Jean reading minds at the worst moments. The trailer would end with Cyclops attempting a heroic leap, only for his visor to malfunction midair, causing chaos, before the screen cuts to black with the title Marvel's Cyclops, starring Henry Cavill. The final tagline would cheekily declare, The leader you never knew you needed and probably don't deserve. Such a film concept would not only entertain audiences, but also open discussions about Cyclops as a character, parody as a tool for storytelling, and Cavill's ability to embrace humor while delivering a commanding performance. It balances parody with homage, humor with sincerity, and chaos with leadership, offering a fresh take on superhero cinema that both mocks and celebrates the very genre it belongs to. By the closing act of the film, Cyclops rallies his dysfunctional team against Magneto's absurd doomsday device, leading to a climax filled with explosions, slow-motion gags, and comedic reversals. Yet, in the heart of parody, the message remains sincere. Leadership is about perseverance, not perfection. Henry Cavill's Cyclops in this parody embodies that truth, proving himself to be the flawed but determined hero the team needs. Audiences leave the theater laughing, cheering, and perhaps even rethinking their appreciation for Scott Summers, the oft-underestimated leader of the X-Men.